Well, g'day, I'm Grant Giles, better known as Gilesy. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the 4 simple pillars of athletic success that you never thought possible. And as a collective, that we, the athletes, don't often think is possible. And the philosophy that I like to come with is you can get it if you let it. So a lot of the time it's just about getting out of our own way. And most of an athlete's ability to realize their own potential is wrapped up in their own attitude towards their potential. In other words, our attitude is a byproduct of what we believe, of belief. So what you believe, so will you receive. What you're putting out there is what's coming back to you. So I guess I have worked with very few athletes that on their own will truly look into the state of their own belief structures without a little bit of pushing. And that's okay. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. This is part of my job, to connect athletes with their own potential. And we tend not to understand the full weight of the polarities of positive and negative thinking and belief and the impact it has on our performances. Because what we push out there, as I said, we will draw back in. So we can look at belief in a different way. Belief is a little like electrical circuitry. Unless you interrupt the current, it will continue. The same thing physically, right? If we do the same things, we'll get the same outcomes. Unless we change and do something different. So interrupting it doesn't mean you need to stop it, because like energy, it can be converted, diverted, transmuted into something else that's more in line with what we're trying to achieve now. Because the goalposts are always changing, aren't they? We're athletes, we're in a state of flux, our goalposts are constantly moving, our races are moving, our goals are moving. So what is the first step? Just become aware of what you believe, right? And how you believe it. Become the watcher of it. Journal a little bit. Write it down. This is the answers to questions that we're not often aware of. So write down all your thoughts that you have around your goals. Yes, the deep ones. You know, the ones you don't want the competition to see or know about you. And they don't need to see it. But you need to see it. You need to be aware of it. Then you take what you've written there and you examine it. See if they're in flow with your goal or moving against it. Are you talking for the benefit of yourself, or are you talking against yourself? Now, most athletes are shocked to find out just how much their own inner state is moving against the flow of their own goals. Don't make that another problem though, just notice it. That's all you need to do. All you need to do is increase your awareness around it. Because if you know you're doing it, you can stop it. Now, realize that every time you train, there is a golden opportunity to wedge a circuit breaker, right? That means when the weather conditions aren't going the way they're going, or the people you're training with aren't doing what you expect them to do, you can do something about it. So here's a few things you can practice. It's practical. First part is acceptance. Second part is presence. Third part is non-judgment. And the fourth part is visualization. And these are just a few of the currents of reality that you can use to wedge in the circuitry of belief and transmute the energy into something that is helpful, that is taking you towards your goals. And sometimes it can possibly be even personally revolutionary, right? So the first part of those 4 little pillars that I gave you is acceptance. And from a training perspective, when you turn up for a session, give yourself fully to the session. Accept the session fully. Accept it, warts and all. Weather conditions, feelings, emotions, fatigue levels. Accept them all like you invited them. Like you invited them to sit down for a cup of tea. And watch how that down regulates your circuitry. When you move into acceptance, you can feel your nervous system calming down. Now you're doing something really practical for yourself that's moving you into alignment with that goal, right? And the next pillar was presence, right? The present moment. There is no transmutative energy like the present moment because it's pure reality as it's arising. It's the only thing we know for sure because our thoughts, our beliefs, our ideas, our concepts, they're all changing, they're all moving, but the present moment is just as it is. And a successful performance, trust me, is simply a whole bunch of present moments stitched together in a line. It doesn't take an Einstein to figure out that if you can stay with the process in training, then it's logically the same to expect that it will appear on race day, right? If you're present in training, you can expect that you'll be present on race day. And if you're present on race day, then you're giving it the best that you can give it. You can't give it any more than that. You're doing your best with what you've got to work with in that present moment. And you are what you practice here and now. And if your noggin is all over the place, dealing with past and future, based on what's happening in training, then that's where you can expect to be on race day. And I'm putting a little bit of an asterisk on that one because it's very, very important. All these 4 pillars are. And the next pillar that I spoke about earlier was non-judgment. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't log speeds, you can't log intensities or measure performance post-session. That's not what judgment means. I'm talking about the brand where you look inwards and say, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not fast enough. So what it means is that you stop labeling it and tagging it while you're in the process of it. You stop judging yourself. You stay with the process in the body and you stay as intuitive in that process as you can possibly be without moving into that self-judgmental aspect that makes you feel less than. Because as soon as you think that thought less than, you will be physically less than. And if you're mentally putting labels and judgments on everything, you're not in the body anymore, you're in the head. And when you're in the head, you're at the mercy of thought. And as we said, thought is in a state of flux. It's coming and going. It's all over the place. You can't rely on it. It's not stable. So keep in mind your head and belief system that tells you that you are not good enough, right? You've got to have awareness around that. Because if you have awareness, you can do something about it. You can drop it. And the last part of those 4 pillars is visualization. Now, even scientific research proves the power of visualization simply because our subconscious doesn't know the difference between what is real and what isn't real in a calm state. And when we work with that visualization, we're reaching the dark corners of the subconscious mind where all our doubts and our fears are hidden, and then we get to work with them and replace them. Reframe those beliefs, reframe those ideas and concepts. So a great practice is to get yourself into a quiet space and visualize the race unfolding the way you want it to feel. Keep in mind here that the word is feel. So you're visualizing it and you're feeling it from the inside out. So what you're doing is you're visualizing yourself performing the way you want it to unfold on that race day. Feeling the feelings, seeing yourself feeling strong and moving with flow. Feeding that into the deeper aspects of subconscious. Then you're working against doubt. In essence, what you're doing is training yourself to become more present in the process and the performance. And at the same time, you're rewiring your brain and rerouting around old worn out patterns and beliefs that are holding you back. And a lot of the time are holding you unconsciously back. And unless you inquire, unless you explore, unless you visualize, you're not aware of it. We can't see it. So they're 4 very simple practices that will do far more for you athletically than you ever could imagine if you just give it a consistent try. And I've been coaching for a long time, and I can tell you 100% that this way of working can change the whole game because you literally are the sum parts of what you believe. What you can visualize inside is what is occurring outside. So if you're feeling doubt, then the performance is doubtful. If you're feeling confident, then the performance is confident. If you're feeling present, then the performance is present. It's that simple. So thanks for listening. I'm Grant Giles, Sansego Tri-Club coach. If you'd like me to explore other aspects in future videos, please just leave them in the comment section below. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Cheers.